Well, Pat, this is one we don't see every day. Now, this started in the Harbor Division, and gosh, we're in the Whittier Narrows area, I think, Pat. So this one is really run the gambit for LAPD. So this is LAPD's Harbor Division. We're not even sure what the want is, but what's crazy is we've been inside the Rio Hondo wash, and we actually witnessed LAPD get into the wash as well. So they had a vehicle behind us, but you see the spotlight right now. They're having to cover this one from the air. LAPD's helicopter with their spotlight lighting up what we thought it was a motorcycle, but might just be a moped, but it's gone a really long ways here. Again, we're trying to see if we can get what initiated all this, but vehicles are really having trouble because now we're on a bike path. So he went through a gate, and they couldn't get any vehicles through that gate. And so now they're just having to kind of have the airship guide units in to the nearest location once he comes back out onto some surface streets. So this is a really unique one, Pat.
Well, did you see what he did there? He made a move like he was going to, well, he did stop briefly, but then kept going. Now he's back onto, what street is that? San Gabriel Boulevard, Desmond.
Yeah. So now we're back out onto some surface streets, and I believe really weird maneuver there. It looked like he was just looking to see if there were any vehicles behind him. And then I think he looked up and saw that spotlight and decided to take back off. So who knows where he's going? But now, Pat, we can confirm that this was a burglary suspect, or robbery rather, possibly an armed robbery suspect. So starting to get speeds up to about 50 miles an hour as we're on Rosemead Boulevard. I believe this is that section of Rosemead that is kind of almost like a little mini freeway as we drift northbound towards the 60 freeway. So really running the gambit. Unfortunately, a lot of advantages for this guy on a motorcycle. You can see him squeeze into some tight spots there where vehicles cannot get through. He managed to get through that gate, out of the wash, and onto that bike path and evade units. So it's going to be difficult to get some ground units behind this guy. And again, this is LAPD, who's taken this, way outside of the city limits of Los Angeles for an armed robbery suspect. And let's see Mike do it again here. Is getting onto some private property or onto another service road. Let's widen out and see. I believe this might still be in the Whittier Narrows recreation area. So, once again, Pat, we're off-road with this one.
I wonder if he knows where he's going. That looks like a mini bike, or as you said, a moped. Not really doesn't look necessarily like a full-on motorcycle, right? I mean, it seems rather small in size, and the way he's been able to maneuver it. Even though right now, if those speeds are correct, it's what, like he's going like 30, less than 30 miles an hour?
Well,
let's see if he comes
see if
out.
we can get behind these trees right now. We'll try to keep a wide shot, and very strategic of him to go underneath these trees. Probably going to turn his light off. Can we try to get around to the other side of these trees right here? There you can see the reflection actually in the of LAPD's helicopter as they went through that little pond. So, we see this happen a lot with motorcycles. Sometimes people just assume that once they get the helicopter spotlight overhead that there's no way that these guys can get away, but unfortunately just a lot of advantages for someone on a motorcycle to do exactly this type of thing. It was really, unfortunately very effective at evading those ground units, and we've been watching this area like a hawk. We haven't seen the motorcycle come out. Might just be waiting for the perfect opportunity when there's a little, blanket coverage, or maybe turn the light off and to see if he can sneak through these trees. Yeah, or maybe even drive away with his lights out. I believe
haven't seen him running either.
Infrared technology.
And we haven't seen him running either.
Haven't seen him out on foot. So just gonna watch this area for a little while longer. Maybe just trying to get the authorities to think that he ran from underneath this canopy. Listening to LAPD talk, they're trying to guide in some ground units to get in here. And this was a burglary suspect again, or robbery suspect rather. So fairly violent crime. This wasn't just speeding or some kind of infraction like that. It sounds like this might be a felony suspect that they're dealing with. So you really hate to see him get away, but at the moment, been pretty effective. Okay, so they have him on, Pat, they have him on something they call FLIR, thanks to our assignment desk. It's like an infrared technology that they have. Oh, there you go. There we go. We still got eyes on him. So maybe he's going to realize that this technique was not going to work because LAPD has infrared technology, and back on the move.
You know, you'd wonder why they wouldn't have some vehicles, or maybe they will. Like, you know, he's been there for quite some time. Like if they could have called in some units and say, okay, he's going to pop out of here some way. We have the infrared on him. We know where he's headed. No, he's going to try to do it again.
Yeah, I can see his tire. Actually, wait, let's stay right here. I can see his tire sticking out right here. And if we can move back, there we go. Okay, now he's got his light on.
Light.
Yeah, you know, Pat, I think it's just really difficult to get units in here because this area has a lot of locked gates. And, you know, it's probably, you know, we're so far outside of LAPD's jurisdiction that they're probably not going to have the key to those locks to open up those service gates. Okay, back on the bike now, headed back southbound. We'll see what his next maneuver is, but it's pretty, you know, diabolical thinking here for this motorcycle to evade the ground units. But like I said, fortunately, those helicopters, they have some infrared technology, so he's going to have to do a lot more than that to get away from the authorities.
And especially if he is wanted for, as you said, burglary, robbery, then this is one that they will maintain eyes on him so he won't get away. If this is exactly the want, then that makes it, that kicks it up quite a bit. We're going to go to CBSN for coverage to continue this pursuit, and we bid our CBS 2 viewers a good evening to watch Stephen Colbert. All right, we're on CBSN Los Angeles for coverage of a motorcycle or mini bike pursuit of a suspected burglary or robbery attempt here. Desmond Shaw is overhead in Sky 2, and we've seen this guy who is still in a wash area somewhere in Whittier. Is that our location?
Yeah, I think we're kind of in the Whittier Narrows area. There's a huge open space here, lots of parkland, and there's some like little lakes and ponds. So think that area. We're basically south of the 60, kind of between Rosemead and the 605. The San Gabriel River flows there. There's a lot of bike paths, lots of open space. So unfortunately, very advantageous for someone who's willing to do this, you know, on a motorcycle or a moped, can squeeze into some areas where you can't get any patrol cars in. And so that's what we've been seeing. He keeps going underneath these canopies, these trees, and to try to evade the spotlight. But little does he know that they have infrared technology in the helicopter. So they basically just push a button. They have actually kind of a similar camera system to what we have, but they can just press a button and they go to infrared and they can see his heat signature. So, you know, a huge advantage for law enforcement in that regard. But the advantage to him right now being on a motorcycle, just being in an area where they can't get any patrol cars in. So kind of circling around, really desperate to avoid that spotlight. And, you know, hopefully they'll, maybe they can get a motorcycle unit out here or something that can also squeeze through some of those gates and bring this robbery suspect to justice. Yeah,
well, spotlight's on him, so he certainly knows they're above. And it's interesting to me, Desmond, the way he's just sort of going around in circles. Now, what was that?
Yeah, I think he's just maybe thinking his next move.
All right, I thought he passed something. It almost looked like there were red lights. See to the right there?
Oh yeah, it looks like there's some lights there on top of that.
Oh, that's
that big
it.
Power
all right.
Pole.
Okay, you wonder if he knows how to get out of there. Wouldn't that be something?
Well, I know. Yeah, maybe he got himself, lost. He's been turning, all kinds of directions, and it's awfully dark out here. So it's possible this person has no idea where they are. But I have to imagine that LAPD is going to try to have officers at all of the gates that lead into the Whittier Narrows recreation area, and we'll just have to see which direction he comes out on this one. It looks like we're headed kind of northeast right now, and you can see the spotlight lighting up all these little recreation areas of bike paths and walking paths, and it's actually a really nice little area to come out here and on a nice day get some rest and relaxation. The Whittier Narrows area. Never thought I'd be covering a a pursuit like this in a recreational area.
Did he just bump? Oh, he's trying to go over something.
Yep.
On a curb and then back on. Now he's back on the street.
Yeah, so now that we're back out on streets, I'll show you our map tracker again. And so it shows that we're on Santa Anita Avenue, actually, where we had a pursuit earlier this afternoon. But now we're back out onto surface streets, so kind of headed towards El Monte now, northbound. Well, actually, I think he's getting on the 60 freeway. Looks like he's going to be getting onto the eastbound side of the 60, and I guess we'll see just how much power this motorcycle moped has. You know, I'm honestly, Pat, not an expert in the differences really, but I thought that the difference was that you can't take a moped on the freeway, and it kind of looked like a moped, and here we are in a construction zone, no less, getting this, you know, motorcycle, moped, whatever the two it is, but pit bike, my pilot Austin is saying, but eastbound 60 now approaching the 605.
He said it was a pit bike?
A pit bike, yeah. My pilot Austin might be a little bit better versed in the intricacies of two-wheeled vehicles. So,
and so would Austin say?
I'll defer to him on that.
So Austin, I mean, obviously this doesn't have as much power, right? Because he would be going over 100 miles an hour, I would suspect, if that, you know, if this guy is wanted for a felony like that. So to be on a pit bike, and it also seems, though, Desmond, that law enforcement could rather catch up with him quickly.
Yes, yeah,
right?
Definitely. Now that we're back on surface streets, and you can see, I mean, I can't tell if this guy's pushing or not. Maybe he is. He's really got the gas down, and he's only able to get to about 60 miles an hour. Because you're right, almost every motorcycle pursuit we see, you know, you see him go pedal to the metal, 100 miles an hour, 130 miles an hour even. I remember we were covering one that went from downtown LA to, you know, Orange County in about 10 minutes with that pursuit that was going 120. So this guy going just about 60 miles an hour, so not even the speed limit, and pretty dangerous to be out here on this little bike in a dark area. Of course, he does have the aid of the spotlight, at least alerting other people to his presence. So I'm wondering if he's looking for another open space that he can go and try to maneuver around like he was just doing.
Do you see any law enforcement behind him, Des?
I do not at this moment. I'll just widen out and show you. And again, this has been LAPD's pursuit, even though we've come such a long way from the city of Los Angeles. And it started, you know, on the edges of Los Angeles in the harbor. So somewhere, you know, in the San Pedro area is where we believe that this started with this robbery suspect. But no units behind him at the moment. They may still be trying to kind of catch up because, you know, he took that shortcut through the Whittier Narrows and they had to go all the way around to stay in pursuit, or they may just be content to be following this one from the air and kind of biding their time. Yeah, I heard our assignment desk editor saying, Mike was saying that, you know, this bike, if it's just a little pit bike, can't have that much gas in it. I think, you know, motorcycles only carry a couple of gallons of gas, so you would think that this is not one of those pursuits that could go on for very long.
So let's say they obviously they know where he is because they have the airship.
Yep.
There they go. Now they picked him. Now I can see him, Desmond. So.
Yeah, just like clockwork, Pac. I think they heard you ask if there were any units behind, and they decided to speed up and get engaged. So now we can see, you know, and here it is. It is still LAPD that is involved in this, despite the fact that we're way outside of LA and on the freeway. You would have thought that maybe they'd asked CHP to get involved. I'm not sure if they did. They don't always do that. With certain suspects, they want to take it all the way to the end without handing it off to any other agencies. And you know, it kind of works more cleanly that way as well. The less agencies you have involved, I think, you know, the less paperwork you have to deal with when you finally do slap the cuffs on these suspects. So we're eastbound on the 60 now as we head towards Hacienda Heights, and we'll see. Well, and there was a unit right there, and he is getting off the freeway. See what his next move's going to be. You know what?
And Desmond, I mean, you know, when you think about the tools that they have to try to stop this, if they, now they're staying with this guy. Yeah. This has gotten a little more aggressive, when you say? Okay, when I was just asking you about the tools that they would have to try to stop this if they... if they wanted to.
Yeah, just kind of looping around.
I mean, they couldn't.
Yeah.
To pit a pit bike like that, that would be rather. Well, it would certainly be dangerous for the suspect.
Is he going the wrong way up the on-ramp? He's going the wrong way.
Oh, yeah.
This is how desperate this person is to get away. Oh, this could really end badly, Pat, especially on a motorcycle.
Yeah.
Now he's on the right-hand shoulder, but going against traffic, and you see how closely those big rigs are going. 60 miles an hour the opposite direction, and here's this guy. This is extremely nerve-wracking whenever we see pursuits go on like this. Now, I'm pretty sure it's protocol that the ground units have to back off when a suspect does this. Obviously, they can still continue to follow it from the air, but Mike on the assignment desk just confirming that they're obviously not going to engage this. Just going to have to wait until he gets back off of the freeway or starts going the right direction. But
hopefully he can do it safely.
Yeah, extremely desperate maneuver here by this guy. I mean, all it takes is someone in the right-hand lane, changing the radio station, fiddling with their phone, not paying attention, and drifting over the right line, and this guy's done.
And he could hit something.
We all see it.
He could hit something like a rock or anything like that and just propel him onto oncoming traffic like that. So, yeah, he's taking a lot of chances.
There's a lot of freeway junk on the right-hand shoulder of any freeway. That's whenever there's a hazard in the roadway. That's how CHP addresses it. And look, there was a big rig right there that was pulled over. So lots of hazards for this guy to dodge. Never mind that he's going against traffic. And there's another big rig pulled over. Sometimes you have big rigs that pull over. There's designated spots where big rigs can pull over to rest for the night on the sides of some freeway. So I'm wondering if that's what that was all about. But this one, just about as desperate a maneuver as you can see, Pat, by any suspect in any pursuit.
Yeah, and exactly, and it's night, so obviously your visibility is going to be much lower because you're out here in the dark of night and you're going against traffic. That there's the other thing too. I mean, well, I guess he wouldn't necessarily be blinded, but you just don't know. Cars are coming in the opposite direction like that. Your vision may be somewhat impaired, but I'm just wondering what his next move would be, where he's going to, is he going to go off another exit or
maybe he's going to try to go down the wrong way on an on-ramp, but you seem like right up against the line at points too. And all this, if this guy swerves the wrong way, if there's some big obstacle in front of him, a car bumper or what have you, or a big rock, and he swerves to the right into a car, that's it. Look at getting into the lanes now.
What is he doing?
On-ramp.
Oh, he's going to turn around.
And now turning around.
Oh,
and circling
Jasmine.
on the on-ramp. Okay, so Pat, this is the ramp from the 60. So dangerous. He's incredibly lucky that there was no traffic right there because he just crossed the ramp from the northbound 605 to the east 60, and he's going westbound. And just imagine, one of those drivers there making that transition and seeing this little motorcycle. Hopefully they saw the spotlight and figured that something was up. But just a insane gamble here that this person is taking. At the extreme off chance that he's going to get away. I mean, really, literally gambling with his life in the middle of the freeway and now into the construction zone. So let's see. Boy,
unbelievable.
Here comes CHP. Oh,
wow.
CHP tried to corner him, but he got right by. So you see the cones in the roadway. Yeah, so he's westbound in the eastbound lanes. And he's probably going to encounter some Caltrans trucks here pretty soon, Pat.
And he's going against traffic. It's just unbelievable at this point. Look at how fast the other cars are going. Right. And he's on this little bike.
Yeah. Right up against a concrete mixer there. And we'll see how far this cone pattern goes. This is where they've been expanding the freeway, adding carpool lanes to both sides of the 60. This project that's been going on for years and years, and you can see it looks like it's almost done, but I don't think I've ever seen this, Pat. It's certainly not this combination. You can see LAPD watching now from the other side of the freeway.
Yes.
So there you go. So they're able to safely, go with the flow of traffic and keep eyes on the ground and try to intercept him.
There was a truck or cab that was parked on the freeway that had just stopped. Or did you notice that?
Yeah, I mean, there's been a couple of big rigs that we've seen stopped over on the right side of the freeway. But you know, we've seen this guy going through the recreation area, Whittier Narrows. Okay, that was one thing. You know, you know, real cute attempt to get away from the cops. Like no harm there. But here you are endangering so many people and yourself, and actually having to go into open lanes of the freeway to get around the sign. What is he doing?
Oh, that was scary.
Crossing the lanes of the freeway.
That was so scary, Desmond.
Crossing the lanes.
That was too close.
You see him doing a U-turn on the freeway and turning back around again. And let's see if this is where he's going to get back off. Now, I believe this ramp here, and well, he saw the red-blue lights coming towards him, so that's probably why he's exiting the freeway right here at Santa Anita. And let's see. So now we're back near the Whittier Narrows area where we just were. And what other desperate maneuver is this guy, you know, going to pull out of his back pocket?
Well, I haven't seen anything like that, Desmond, as we were just talking. I mean, that was more than some daredevil moves there, going on the freeway and turning around in the middle of the freeway against traffic. That was pretty, I don't know how to describe that. And
yeah.
Right, it's at a loss for words. It's flabbergasting. It's got to be for police officers too. They've got to know at this point they really want to take this person in, because he's been, as you said, a danger to himself and other people on the road. No question about that.
It takes your breath away. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's honestly one of my biggest fears, Pat, because I've covered some crashes where, you know, someone who's drunk behind the wheel goes up, you know, the wrong way on a freeway and causes a massive crash and people die. And I read that and I'm just like, God, that is my biggest fear on the freeway, is seeing headlights coming towards you. You know, I think about it all the time, and you just imagine what other people, how they're reacting, seeing this guy, you know, from a distance doing U-turns, basically doing circles
right in front of you
on the freeway there. Yeah, you know, in the middle of a construction zone. So at least we're off the freeway again. It just really, you can't believe everything we've seen, and how this has escalated from, you know, something just kind of hiding in the bushes of a recreation area where there's no one around, to getting on the freeway, then going the wrong way on the freeway, and now we're down onto Rosemead and Durfee. And so again, now through a red light, there's another, you see
units
LAPD.
there.
There's a lot of units in this area. Yeah, they have quite a few units engaged in this one. You know, again, pretty far away. We're still pretty far from the LA city limits, but it looks like maybe an all hands on deck situation for LAPD to try to bring this one to an end. And I just hope he runs out of gas soon, Pat.
That's what I was about to say. We were talking about, we don't know exactly, I haven't looked it up, about how many gallons that this particular bike, someone on Twitter said this was a Honda Prom or something like that. So I might want to look that up just to see.
Oh, he just fell over. Oh, he took that turn a little bit too softly there, and fell
lucky
over.
for him, he's on some grass.
Yeah, it looks like he's getting back into that area, Pat, the Whittier Narrows area. I think he just misjudged that turn, or maybe he's getting tired of being on this bike or what, but he might be stuck now. Just widen out, and now, okay, here's a great opportunity. There might be I don't know if there's a fence right here. Okay,
he's got his hands up.
I think he's got his hands up. I think he's had it. And look at, here come officers, so swarming him, and just, boy, is he ever lucky that's where he you know, lost control of the bike and fell over into some dirt, and not the wrong way,
right,
you know, on the freeway.
Pavement.
Incredibly lucky for him. Yeah, absolutely, and that he didn't you know, end up taking anybody else out with him. But here come the officers. We're getting him in cuffs. So we are kind of back in that Whittier Narrows area, just off of Rosemead Boulevard, where this ended in that recreational area. It looked like he was trying to do the same thing again, go back into an area where there were no police cars, but maybe he was just getting fatigued. You know, that happens to some of these suspects, especially when you're driving in such a high-pressure situation like he was. He just looked like maybe he had had enough and wiped out there around that turn. You know, to the advantage of waiting LAPD.
Well, you know what, Desmond? Oftentimes people want us to follow up. I would like to know, pardon me, first of all, what were you thinking? And,
Yeah.
you know, who is this person? And exactly, was it robbery, burglary, whatever it was that propelled him to think he could get away and to risk? That was just life risking, the moves that he made on the freeway there. That was unbelievable. Unbelievable, pretty incredible.
Yeah.
And he is lucky, as you said, Desmond, to end up, not being able to go any further on the dirt as opposed to just wiping out on pavement, or, just having someone run into him or he crashed into someone else. This was some pretty breathtaking moments there, Desmond. So we're going to call it a night. And Des, who knows what we can expect tomorrow, but that's a lot of work that you put in today.
So, yeah, thanks, Pat. I know it's not even a full moon. It's a beautiful moon out there. But,
yeah, we appreciated the shot.
A crazy one. Yeah, I love bringing you guys the weather shots. I always love doing that. And as for this guy, I mean, I'm sure he's disappointed he's going to jail, but should just be incredibly thankful that he's alive.
Exactly. He should be. All right, Desmond Shaw reporting live for us. Thanks again, Desmond. We will see you tomorrow. And ladies and gentlemen, we bid you a good evening, and we'll be back for more news on CBS 2 at 4:30 a.m.